The only event extreme enough to put our name to. The Unlimited Dusi.
The country's leading river paddlers have gathered at the start here at Kampsdrift Canal in Pietermaritzburg for the 61st edition of the Unlimited Dusi Canoe Marathon, the country's leading race of its kind. The defending champions Jason Graham and his partner Andrew Burkett are back. They'll be tussling it out with the likes of world champion Hank McGregor and Len Jenkins and the local favourites Tulani Mbanjwa and Sibonelo Zondi, the men who really have been going well in the valley. It's going to be a terrific race as they head down the Umzinduzi and the Umgeni rivers to finish in Durban 120 kilometres later on Blue Lagoon. I can sense an exciting day for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of excitement here today, and you can feel it when you chat to the people. So yeah, people are ready and waiting and ready to get going. Yeah.
You get your brand across, you get a message across, but essentially just tell us from the Unlimited's perspective what this event really means to you.
Well, this is a great sponsorship for us. It seems to be a very good fit for the Unlimited, and what we look for as a business is to push boundaries and stretch ourselves, and that's exactly what the Unlimited Dusi Canoe Marathon does. You have approximately 1,800 people here, of which most of them are ordinary people, and they push themselves to get an extraordinary result. So it really fits our business, and that's why we're very excited to be the title sponsor and be back this year.
A very nervy looking A-batch onto the water at 6 a.m. for the start. From the gun there was drama. 4 boats swimming in a snarl up with the starting ropes, but a clear start for the defending champions.
We didn't want to put much pressure on ourselves before the race, so our basic plan for the race was to just go out there and have fun and to obviously do as well as we could. But doing that, we wanted just to have a fun race and to try as hard as we could make a few mistakes as possible.
There is everything to gain by being first down the steps at the Ernie Pierce Weir. And it's Hank McGregor and Len Jenkins who win that dice and the right to the clear water below the weir, with Andy Burkett and Jason Graham right on their rudder and the rest of A-batch not far behind. There is nothing subtle or gentlemanly about the scrap to get down Ernie Pierce Weir in the top batches, where the crews will clamber over each other if need be to get half a boat length ahead, often at the cost of a frustrating swim at the bottom.
We always thought we would try and start fast, use our paddling ability to try and get a bit of a buffer over the stronger runners in the field. And the plan seemed to work really well. We managed to get away and break the elastic by like YMCA. We sort of had a bit of a gap.
In fact, it's quite a big lead for McGregor and Jenkins as they mastered the witness weir below Commercial Road. Andy Burkett and Jason Graham second, with the Biggs cousins, Sean and Ben in third. And then the day's first big decision at Campbell's Farm.
There's hardly any time in that, taking Briar takeout on Campbell's instead of Pine Tree. There's 20 seconds, but day one is such a fast day. The winning time just over 2 hours, so you've got to really try and take every opportunity you can to get a gap on the other guys.
We took the Pine Tree option, and I think the other guys went to the conventional route, and we managed to still get to Campbell's checkpoint ahead. We actually got to a gate just before Campbell's checkpoint, and it was closed. And came running around the corner, and I was like, oh my word, slow down, Len, you know, he's pushing me from behind. We hit the gate, I had to lift it up and open it, and I realized then that we were still in front, you know.
Third place still with the Biggses, and in fourth, the much talked about crew of Sean Rubenstein and Steve Farrell as the leaders crest the top of Campbell's Farm. KZN rolling out a kind, cool and overcast start to day one. On the run, it's all happening. Andy Burkett and Jason Graham just behind McGregor and Jenkins as they run across the Campbell's checkpoint bridge into the orchard at the hole in the wall. Now, here's a big move. Tulani Mbanjwa and Sponelo Zondi have caught the front pair by the end of the hole in the wall, wiping out a 38-second deficit on the run. Here go Burkett and Graham, slicing past McGregor and Jenkins with cheeky ease. That's the world champion just dropping. Guinea fowl portage, another crucial 4-kilometer climb.
Mike and Eric were really strong on the portages. Up Guinea fowl portage especially, that's where they ran past us. They really were running well. They made us feel like we were looking for parking. They didn't sort of pause behind us for a few strides or anything, just came straight past us. And really ran strongly. I think by the end of Guinea fowl portage, the gap was about a minute 10, a minute 20.
The race's third leader inside an hour, and a gilt-edged chance for Bunji and Zondi to set a critical lead that could win them this race. Because from here, they head down through the maze to Mission before the charge down to the overnight stop at Dusi Bridge. But these two have had boat technical issues, a bent rudder, shifting seats, and then Zondi's seat coming adrift, costing them valuable time. And Burkett and Graham are putting in a huge charge as they head towards Mission Rapid. At Mission, it's still Mbanjwa and Zondi, but their lead has shrunk to just 16 seconds.
When we got to Mission Rapid, we were a bit off the pace. We could see the two lead boats in front of us. And our game plan was really just to try and limit the loss at the end of the day and try and stay in contact. We could see them the whole way. And look, going into day two, you obviously want as little as possible the gap to be. So that's all we try to do, is just try and stay in contact.
Burkett and Graham have caught Mbanjwa and Zondi.
Before the Capestry, we used a lot of power, and when it get to Capestry, I think our power was not enough to hold with them. And I'm quite surprised to see them the way they were pushing hard until the finish.
At the finish at Dusi Bridge, Mbanjwa and Zondi get forced wide on a rock, and Burkett and Graham can bolt for the line to claim the overnight honours. A minute and a half back to McGregor and Jenkins. They won't be too unhappy about that. And then Craig Turton and Jasper Mocker. Back to Pietermaritzburg and the start of the women's race. Just 14 boats shortlisted for the women's seeded C batch. Robin Keim and Abby Ulansky first into the Ernie Pierce weir, and they are out. It's almost traditional for these two to swim here. That gifts the lead to Abby and Alex Ady, with Jen Hodgson and Tamika Hall in second. The Witness Weir and the Ady twins are out front alone as they lead the women's field out of Pietermaritzburg. But the swim at Ernie Pierce has woken the slumbering monster, and Robin Keim and Abby Ulansky scorch from stone last back into the lead by the top of Campbell's Farm. Ominous signs for the other top women's crews. They stretched that lead over Guinea fowl, and by the time they raced into Mission Rapid, Robin Keim and Abby Ulansky were holding all the cards with a hefty lead. They ran Cabbage Tree hard, driving a wedge between themselves and the AD twins. Alex unusually struggling with her running on the day. By the finish, it was Keim and Ulansky setting a new stage record by 3 minutes. The ADs in second, and Debbie Jermacay and Carmen Blakeney in third. A huge 11-minute lead for the defending champs, with the leading juniors Bianca Hoare and Jordan Peak excelling in fourth.
We didn't plan to take the lead that early on day two. Off the start line, our plan was to try and drop Bunji and Eric, but we didn't plan for it to be on the start line. And from there, we were expecting Hank and Len to actually catch us, which didn't happen, but we obviously had to race our own race and try and hold them off for as long as possible.
A cat and mouse start to the day as the front three headed over the saddle's portages.
We went out really hard at the start of day 2. We didn't really conserve too much. We had quite an upsetting line through first saddles, and we lost a bit of time there, and then we put in and we lost a little bit more time. So the hard work we did to try and catch up was sort of negated by the 2 mistakes we made. And then going further down the river, the guys had really good lines going through Washing Machine and through Willem's Chute, and we lost a bit more time there. So it was just accumulation of small little 20 seconds here, 30 seconds there that really destroyed our race.
Burkett and Graham clean through Washing Machine, while behind them Jenkins and McGregor have caught Mbanjwa and Zondi at Willem's Chute. It's all happening on day 2. Race leaders Burkett and Graham approaching gauging weir cautiously. They head for the safe left-hand line.
In all our tripping race, pre-races and tripping, we always shoot in the middle there where we went. But on the race day, I saw Hank and Len going left, and then I actually planned to go left, and then suddenly I just changed my mind, and I think that's what, because we hesitated a little bit, and I think that's why we swam.
We saw Mike and Eric take a dip there at gauging. Obviously, it's unfortunate for them, but to be honest, someone's going to make a mistake sooner or later, and it's pressure. It's, you know, like you're trying as hard as you can, and it's easy to make mistakes. And for them, look, it was unfortunate, but for us, it was we had caught them already, and we were already looking to the next boat, you know. So it was just it was a matter of just trying to keep the focus and try and see if we could close the gap on Jay and Andrea.
Ngomeni Hill leads into a tricky section of river with the capacity to further shake up the leaderboard. Rapids like Gumtree, Tombi and Hippo lurk in the first 10 minutes of paddling after the portage. The Umgani flowing at a great medium to full level thanks to water from Nagel Dam. Hippo in particular has tripped up plenty of title contenders in the past. Andy Burkett and Jason Graham powering down Ngomeni to the river and the famous Big 3 rapids that lie in wait.
When we shot Tombi and we dropped over the top ledge, our boat actually took a bit of damage going over that because it wasn't too full, so you were still smacking rocks. And when we got to Hippo, I was a bit worried about the boat, but we actually went into the main channel of Hippo instead of taking the chicken run on the right, which was a bit of a gamble, and it was really big at the bottom of Hippo. But both of those were fine. We didn't manage to fall out or anything, so they were fine.
When we got to Hippo, we had got the time checks. We had lost time going over Ngomeni, which we sort of expected. And then Len and I, we both said, okay, right, there's a lot of flat water ahead. There was still quite a few rapids to go, but we sort of backed ourselves that we could close the gap.
A rehearsed team move at Hippo. There is just enough water to slide over the granite dome at Hippo Rocks. Jenkins looking back to make sure that the smack to the tail hasn't damaged anything. Mbanjwa and Zondi in third go down the traditional channel and they nail the line, down the tongue, spot on. Under 23s Lance Kime and Quandaram Klope take the team best for line and they get it right. Behind them, Craig Turton and Jasper Mocker get it too far right and they get caught in the slot. But they manage to slip free, still clear of the charging Sean Rubenstein and Steve Farrell, who take the drier, more central line over the rocks.
It was a bit of a frustrating day for us from the point of view of the fact that we didn't get splits throughout the day. The first split we got was coming onto the dam. At the start of the dam, we heard the gap was about 3 or 4 minutes. And we didn't even know who was behind us either. So a little bit later on during the dam, the media boat told us that the boat behind us was Hank and Len, and that's when we, I think, probably got a little bit of an adrenaline boost because we realized that the World Flatwater Marathon champion was behind us across the flat waters of the dam. So I think that probably helped us to keep our tempo up across the dam.
The new world champ and the 2001 Dusi champ indeed in second. But the leaders have added 3 minutes to their overall race lead on day 2. Another change in the leaderboard as young Lance Kaima and Kwandam Mhlope have the jump on Chulani Mbanjwa and Sponelo Zondi as they power across Inanda Dam to the overnight stop. Now, here are the numbers that matter. The defending champs will sleep well with a 4-minute plus lead. Mbanjwa and Zondi struggling with technical problems, dropping back to 4th. Back to the start of day 2 to look at the women's race. Robin Keim and Abby Ulansky with their tails up with a big lead over the 80 twins Abby and Alex. The women starting where they finished in elapsed time, allowing them to race with and share the wave of male paddlers around them. Washing machine rapid, and Keim and Ulansky take the safe right-hand line, while just behind them the 80s bomb down the middle racing line. Ngumeni Hill and Keim and Ulansky are powering away, extending their lead over the 80 twins. Back down on the river, they survive a scare at Tombi and then approach Hippo, planning to slide over the dome rocks, but they do it, and as they drop back into the river, they flip to the right and take a swim. Now is the door open for the 80s. They've had a good day and they approach Hippo through the conventional channel. They slide down the tongue and then they get eaten in the gnarly hole. On Inanda Dam, and Keim and Ulansky doing the pulling as they settle for what looks to be another stage record, setting themselves up beautifully for the final stage into Durban. A quarter of an hour back, the 80 sisters, part of a 3-boat bunch racing to Mcinsi Resort, hurting from swims at Gauging Weir and Hippo. 16.5 minutes the buffer for the race leaders over the twins, Jermike and Blakeney solidly in third, with junior Bianca Hoare shading older sister Tamika.
2, 1, go.
On day 3, we had a 4-minute lead over Len and Hank, which we were not completely confident that was enough to hold them off for the whole day. So we believed we had to take risks, and we were worried they were actually going to catch up to 2 minutes on us going across the dam at the start. So putting in tops, we believed, was just something we had to do to try and hold them off for as long as possible.
You know, you've been paddling on flat water, dead flat water, for the last maybe an hour and 20 minutes. So, you know, all of a sudden to run flat out down a hill and put in probably one of the biggest rapids in the race is always going to be a risky move. We had to do it. We had to take a chance. We were trying to stay ahead of Mike and Eric, and obviously try and close the gap on Andrew and Jabe. And yeah, it's always hit and miss. It's a 50-50. I don't enjoy that rapid, but we managed to come out clean. To be honest, I was very surprised when I heard Andrew and Jay had done the same thing. Yeah, look, it's a big risk, but obviously it showed you how confident they were in their paddling ability, and hats off to them.
It hasn't been the greatest of races for Mbanjwa and Zondi, and they're putting safety first, sliding in halfway down tops. And Zondi's splash cover is not on as they drop into this big rapid. They're keen to get away from Lance Keim and Kwanda Mhlope. 7th and 8th here, Sean and Ben Biggs, and Piers Crookshanks and Mike Stewart.
I think with a lot of other races on the calendar, one can get away with teaming up with a K2 partner a couple of weeks before and still have a good shot of winning the race, whereas with the Dusi, it's a long season, there's a lot more preparation that goes into it. You need to be a lot more well-versed on the route and trip the route, and so I think getting on well is really important, and Andy and I do get on well, and I think we've both got the same philosophy when it comes to racing, and that's that the most important thing to us is having fun.
Interesting line down side shoot for the leaders, while McGregor and Jenkins make a big charge on the river behind them. Day 3's big decision, the torturous Burma Road portage, and it's a dead cert for Burkett and Graham, and another well-rehearsed and fast takeout. Behind them, McGregor and Jenkins are looking for another gear heading towards Burma, but they're about to be caught from behind. Burma cuts out a long, tricky loop in the river and saves 3 or 4 minutes if you run it really hard. And run hard is exactly what the champs are doing.
We did feel good going up Burma. One thing which I didn't sort of reveal and we didn't want to reveal to too many people is that I had a bit of flu the week before Dusi. On the Tuesday before Dusi, I got sick. Day 3, we did feel strong running up Burma, although I don't think we came close to Eric and Michael's running. I think they possibly ran a record time for Burma. In fact, I'm still not sure what time they ran on.
We knew we were running very strong, and we knew that our paddling was also very strong. We knew we can get away from the guys, but we were quite surprised to put in with Hank and Len. We didn't expect that. So that came up with a big surprise because they were quite far in front of us. I think they were just over 6 minutes by takeout of Burma, and we managed to put in with them.
Burkett and Graham sitting pretty, but there are still a few major rapids and obstacles that could spoil their party, like the pump house weirs and the messy rapid below the second weir. But like the rest of their Dusi, the planning and execution is meticulous.
Well, we got a time check at the top of, or going underneath the pump house bridge. We were somewhere around between 8 and 9 minutes behind. And look, it's always demoralizing to hear that you've lost, around about 4.5 minutes on the leaders. And Mark and Eric had closed us down. I mean, they ran so fast, it was unbelievable. Like I said before, it looked like they had just stolen the boat. That's how quick these guys were running. And it's demoralizing. They had caught us by 6 minutes, and we had lost 4.5 on the leaders. So we were in that no man's land, where you had to try and keep motivated, go for the finish, and make sure you stay ahead of the third place. But it's always a tough one to swallow. The losing Dusi, it's a big loss.
The race for the 2 smaller steps on the podium wide open, as young Kaim and Mhlope attempt to put one over Mbanjwa and Zondi. But up front, Andy Burkett and Jason Graham have one hand on the trophy as they enter the outskirts of Durban, with Hank McGregor and Len Jenkins paddling powerfully in second, setting up a team best for Kayak Centre 1-2. Tulani Mbanjwa and Sbonelo Zondi now pulling away from the under-23 crew to set up third place for themselves.
Just so happy that Jason and I had won this year's Dusi, and I was just focusing on what we had done at that exact moment. Now the race has ended, I've realised, and it's sunken in that I've done 3 in a row, which is amazing for me. I'm really happy. But for Jason and myself, it was special because we had a lead, and we haven't had a lead at the end of the Dusi before. It's always been a close race, so we could really soak it up and enjoy it.
Well, it feels amazing. It doesn't get any worse. It's amazing, sweet feeling right now. We had a great race out there today, really fun, and we're so chuffed to bring it together and to have some good luck out there today. It feels really amazing for me to do my 3rd victory in a row. Jason is 2nd. It's amazing to paddle Jason again. He's really a great paddler. He never gives up, and he's really committed the whole way. So it's great to race with Jason, and I'm so happy for a race today.
Amazing numbers. The champs add a full 5 minutes to their overnight lead. McGregor and Jenkins stay clear of the never say die duo of Mbanjwa and Zondi. Now back to Inanda Dam, where the leading women, Kaim and Ulansky, set off in elapsed time, well clear of Abby and Alex Ady. The pressure is now well and truly off the defending champions, as the cool drizzle makes for near-perfect racing conditions. Abby Ulansky, the proud mum of 8-month-old Jake. How many new mums have won this great race? Their win was against some really strong female crews, but the way they raced to a whole new level, demolishing records on all 3 stages, speaks volumes.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's especially a special race. I really enjoyed paddling the last Dusi with Robs, and this Dusi was sort of a last-minute thing. It wasn't planned at all, and we've really enjoyed paddling together, training together, and we had a great race.
Howick twins Abby and Alex AD, valiant adversaries throughout. 4 minutes shaved off the 2008 record that Abby Ulansky set up with Alexa Cole as they squeak inside the day 3 record as well.
Well, there's plenty to celebrate and a great sense of achievement here at the finish on Blue Lagoon of the Unlimited Dusi Canoe Marathon, because this is an iconic South African sporting event, and whether they've done it for the first time or for the 41st time, there are paddlers here who will have these memories for many, many years. And I tell you what, most of them will be back again in 2013 for the 62nd running of the Unlimited Dusi Canoe Marathon. Will you?
The Unlimited Dusi was proudly brought to you by The Unlimited, your everything.